Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Temple Bat Yahm this Shabbat, the second Shabbat in the second Hebrew month of Adar, in which our joy increases, especially difficult at this moment in history, but we do try to muster some joy, and I certainly have joy and happiness in seeing you guys here in person and knowing we have lots of friends and family online as well joining us as we welcome this Shabbat, and in which we declare yet again Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel lives. We are a resilient lot, and we celebrate even in the face of what's going on in the world. So let's begin our service as we do every Shabbat with the blessing over the Shabbat candles. Whether you're here in person or online, we hope you'll join us. We're on page 120 for the blessings, and I'm thrilled to be sharing the bima tonight with Cantor Elisa Waltzman.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. On page 138, Lecha Dodi is a hymn penned by the mystics of Sfat in northern Israel. Centuries ago, our people's connection to the land unbroken for millennia. But this melody is relatively new and beloved and requested by someone at home. We're thinking of that person right now. final verse.
בואי ושלום, עטרת פלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Friends, let's remain standing as we turn to page 146 for the call to prayer for the Baruch Hu. Please be seated. On page 148, let's join together in the Hebrew of Ma'ariv Avim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhma poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד, ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. Page 150.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגי יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמי.
We rise for the Shema, page 152.
ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Shemo.
אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אלוהיכם אמת.
Please be seated. And let's turn to page 157. Page 157, let's read the second reading responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory.
May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 158. Page 160, a prayer, Hashkivenu, calling on God for protection against enemies, illness, war, famine, sorrow.
Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, vehamidenu, shomreinu lechaim, lechaim. Let there be love, guard us with peace, strength and compassion for all in need. Shield us from hate, illness and war. Watch over us as we go forth. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, vehamidenu, shomreinu lechaim, lechaim. Fill us with hope, grace and truth. May we all return to you. Keep us safe, safe tonight. May we rise in the new light. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, vehamidenu, shomreinu lechaim, 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 lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Amen. Page 162, Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Page 164, our central prayer, the Amidah. Please rise.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משנה עפר. ניחמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, לחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Page 179. Let's join together in this prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Let's take some moments of silent prayer, the prayer of the page, or the prayer of the heart, and then we'll join together in a few moments with Shalom Rav on that facing page 178.
Shalom Rav. ברוך אתה
Baruch
אדוני,
Shemo.
המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
Let's turn now in our thoughts and prayers to those who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. Page 382. We think of those here with us tonight in person and online, those in hospital beds awaiting surgery, recovering from treatments and surgeries, awaiting diagnoses, struggling with addiction, with mental illness and infertility. We also think of those who were injured on October 7th and subsequently, and the hostages still being held captive in Gaza. We think of them all, pray for their well-being and return. Page 382.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קרוב, אך קרוב ללאב אישו. אל נא רפאנה, אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה שלמה. הושיע את עמך וברך את נחלתך, ורעם ונשאיהם עד העולם. משברך אבותינו, משברך אמותינו, ענה אדוני הושיענה. אל נא רפאנה, אל נא רפאנה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואה שלמה, רפואה
And now it's time for Kiddush. I'd like to invite you to please rise and approach one of the wine or grape juice stations near you. They're at the front of the sanctuary. The red stuff is the wine. The other stuff is the grape juice. If you're home, grab your beverage of choice. And please keep your drinks right by the tables here. Don't return them to the pews. Otherwise, we'll have stained pews. We don't want that. That is a little baby.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא מקודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
לחיים. That was some tasty silver polish. Please return your cups to the tables here. We appreciate it. And when you're ready, please return to your seats. Please be seated. According to the Jewish calendar, not only is this the second month of Adar, but it is the year 5784, which means that our tradition imagines almost 6 millennia of events. Our tradition, our Jewish people, has been counting time for a long time. And much of our tradition revolves around memory, remembering events from the past, remembering important themes and principles. In fact, in the Kiddush that we just recited together over the Shabbat wine or grape juice, we were bidden to remember 2 important events. Zecher L'Maaseh V'Reishit, that we should remember creation. That we should remember creation and be reminded of how awesome and glorious it is simply to exist in this amazing world that we have been bequeathed. We're also reminded, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, remember our exodus from Egypt. You see, we don't have to wait for Pesach to remember being freed from Egypt. We are reminded constantly, and especially on Shabbat, that we are a free people, not enslaved to human beings like Pharaoh. Memory, whether of creation, of the exodus from Egypt, is central to our faith tradition. And of course, we know memory comes up when we think of those who are no longer with us. Throughout the year, at various times, we recall those loved ones who have touched our lives in a service called Yizkor, Yom Kippur, Shmini Atzeret, on the 7th day of Pesach, and on Shavuot. We remember their contributions to the world, their contributions to our lives. And we say about them, Zichrono livracha or Zichrona livracha, their memory should be a blessing. Tonight we have family members and friends who are remembering loved ones, members of this congregation. We'll be saying Kaddish later on in the service, remembering them. In particular, I want to call out, because they passed not long ago, just very recently, Eleanor Brooke, longtime member, and Larry Ginsberg, two shining lights, very different lives, very different people, but both sources of blessing and inspiration for all those who are left behind. So our tradition bids us to remember creation and the Exodus, and never to take those things for granted, and to remember those loved ones who touched our lives. But this Shabbat, of all the Shabbatot through the year, is named Shabbat of Remembrance, Shabbat Zachor. And we're bidden on this Shabbat to remember something extremely specific. I'm going to read the text from the book of Devarim, from Deuteronomy. Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitchem miMitzrayim. Remember what Amalek did to you on your journey after you left Egypt. Amalek was one of the peoples in the area as our ancestors, the children of Israel, wandered for 40 years through the desert, and they had a particular penchant for attacking the weak and the defenseless. They were underhanded in their approach. They were cruel. They were vicious. And throughout history, versions of Amalek have come seeking our destruction. Which is why on this Shabbat, the Shabbat before Purim, we're reminded to remember what Amalek did. To remember so that we should not forget that evil is real, that evil needs to be defeated. At Purim, a descendant of Amalek was named Haman. He's the one that we spin the graga for, remember? His aim, genocide of the Jewish people. And we know, because we remember the story year after year, that his plans were foiled, thanks to especially Esther and Mordechai. But Haman was not the only example of Amalek through history. We know that in the Second World War, the Nazis had their own genocidal plans. And in our own time, it's hard to escape remembering what Amalek did all those millennia ago, and what those who seem to channel the spirit of Amalek would love to do and tried to do again and again and again to our people. Our almost 6,000-year-old tradition has us remember a lot of things: creation, freedom, loved ones who have gone before us and who serve as an inspiration. But on this Shabbat, we're also reminded to never forget the reality of evil. Never forget how evil can be hidden, can be cloaked, can be explained away by those who'd prefer not to see it. And we're reminded that ultimately the only way to seek peace is to destroy the spirit of Amalek. Not a particular people, but folks who hold on to the spirit of Amalek, who wish to destroy the Jewish people. And we know that what starts with the Jewish people doesn't end with the Jewish people. So we all need to remember Amalek. Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did, and make sure Amalek is once and for all defeated. Amen. Friends, we turn now to a prayer for Israel, a source of hope, a source of inspiration, sending our strength to those fighting on the front lines, those who are still internally displaced, can't return to their homes, those who are recovering from the traumas of October 7th and since then. Page 377, please rise. אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו, ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו, הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, תקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה, ונאמר אמן. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, together bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen.
Amen. Let's remain standing as we turn to the Aleinu, page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Let's remain standing as we turn now to page 598 and the remembrance of loved ones who've died recently and who have died in this season in years past. We think especially of Eleanor Brooke, Larry Ginsburg, Beverly Jo Orban, and William Pivar. This Shabbat, we're in the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the deaths of Sylvia Berman, Nathan Dunn, Estelle Dupre, Joseph P. Edwards, Alvin Ellman, Leah Finkelstein, Essie Friedman, Aline Holmes, Pearl Horwich, Dina Katz, Sidney Clavat, Evie Ludwig, Abraham Myers, Aaron Michelson, George Novak, Alice Dale, Pullman, John Rotondo, David Schneider, Cynthia Smith, Leo Spivak, Blanche Spiritus, David Bernard Titus, Belle Tribwasser, John Kenneth Unferth, Maxine Weinman, Belle Winter, and Irving Uden. We remember those who've died due to terror here and in Israel, especially those on October 7 and since. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be ever for a blessing. Together, Yitkadal, Vitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'alma, Divrach, Yirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayachon, V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagalau, V'zman Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, Mevarach, L'olam, L'amei Amaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitale, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudsha Brichu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and all who are bereaved, and we say, Amen. Please be seated. All except our Board of Trustees representative, Ellen Phillips. Shabbat Shalom.
Let's try it again. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for joining us for Shabbat services tonight. Thank you to our clergy and staff for leading us. Thank you to the Ginsburg family for sponsoring the Oneg in memory of Larry Ginsburg. Oneg will follow services this evening in the lobby. If you've been invited to the Ginsburg family Shabbat dinner, please head to the annex through the back door of the Son and Shine family sanctuary. Tomorrow, Torah study is in person in the Marcus Library and on Zoom, led by Rabbi Silberman at 9 a.m. Coffee and bagels will be provided. Purim is here. Join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Megillah and martinis, and Sunday at 11 a.m. for the Purim Carnival. Tuesday, March 26th at 6:30 p.m., WTBY, along with the Newport Beach Police Department, will host a very important program, Home Security and Personal Safety. It's open to everyone, including teens. Join TBY dads and dudes for a poker night and March Madness on Thursday, March 28th at 6 p.m. Tuesday, April 16th at 7 p.m., join WTBY for a delicious chocolate Passover Seder led by Cantor Linda Ecker. Cost is $18 per person and is open to men, women, and kids 12 and above. Find many more exciting events and RSVP for all on our website at www.tby.org. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Ellen. You don't want to miss tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, our fun-filled Megillah Martinis. It is a 21 and over event, and there may be some live karaoke, parody singing in honor of Purim, and joke telling. Bring your jokes. And there will be hamantashen, I'm told, as well as some nice alcoholic beverages. So please join us tomorrow night. And in honor of Chag Purim, we're going to sing
Chag Purim.
Purim. That's our closing song. If you need the words, it's page 647. A reminder at the conclusion of the service, if you are staying for the dinner, it is through those glass doors that way. If you're staying for the oneg only, then out to your left through the doors you came in. Page 647, please rise. Let's remember the pattern. They tried to kill us. We won. Let's eat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
B'tei avon. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.